What's going on, you guys? In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about a very intriguing project called Uniqo. Uniqo is going to be launching on the Binance Smart Chain later this year. There will be a pre-sale that you'll be able to get into for this project, but they're bringing in some serious innovation that I have yet to see in any other project. So that's what really sparked my interest. Now, I do want to take a moment and say this is a sponsored video by Uniqo, but I want to let you know that I literally turn down dozens of projects every single week that approach me because I don't want to cover projects that offer no innovation, that are just forks of other projects. And I really just want to bring you guys the best of the best. So once I started digging into their white paper and seeing what they're all about, I actually just got off the phone with their CTO. I had a great conversation and I really like what these guys are doing. Also, to the best of my ability, I'm only going to give you my honest opinion about Uniqo. Jumping right into the Uniqo website, I do like their branding. It looks very professional and well thought out. At its core, Uniqo earns you 1% every single day. So you buy the Uniqo token. That token you hold in your wallet. It automatically compounds for you every 30 minutes, much like a rebasing token. But I want to be careful saying that, and they didn't even like me comparing it to that because even though it has those mechanics, they have fixed, or they're endeavoring to fix, a lot of the problems that cause people so much pain in those projects. Now, we're going to go over each and every innovation that they're endeavoring to bring to the table that should offer a viable solution to fixing these problems. They prefer to be called the first ever Rebound token. We'll explain what that is once we dig into the white paper. Some of the key features that Uniqo has is the rebound effect. The rebound effect is a deflationary feature that secures the protocol. We'll dig more into that in a moment. They have fixed interest, meaning that you're going to earn a fixed 1% daily on all the tokens that you hold. They have asset protection. They say it's unaffected by human factors, so we'll have to see about that. They have auto compounding, dynamic daily TP, which stands for take profit, and then they have a self-aware smart contract. So let's jump right into the white paper to learn more. One thing I wanted to highlight on this page is the smart contract was designed so that it constantly monitors the trend of the token in relationship to the supply and can intervene in order to reduce inflation when necessary, profitably rebalancing the investor's assets and protecting the stability of the entire ecosystem. So for anyone who's been in a traditional rebasing token, we all know that the biggest problem that they have is it's an elastic supply that just keeps inflating and inflating and inflating as everybody gets more and more tokens every single day. And eventually those tokens are worth less and less. And then people start dumping them on the market, the price drops, and then virtually it never recovers because there's just too many tokens in the circulating supply. So how do you fix that problem? And that's what Uniqo has set to fix with what they call the rebound. So how does the rebound work? First of all, the rebound is not a recurring function of the smart contract. It is triggered only if and when the self-aware smart contract detects an imbalance in the distribution of assets among the user base and intervenes by strategically adjusting the token allocation according to the supply in order to protect the portfolios in the most profitable way. So through the self-aware smart contract, once it determines that, wait a minute, the inflation's kind of running away, it's going to trigger the rebound function. Now, the rebound function can really be thought of as an inflation controller or a governor. That function, once it gets triggered, it's literally going to stop it and remove the amount of inflation needed out of the circulating supply to return back to a sustainable ratio. Now, this all happens through complex mathematics on the back end. So if you want to dig into that more, I encourage you to join their Discord and get all of your questions answered. Under passive income, you can see that they're going to give you 1% daily interest on whatever amount of tokens that you hold. With compound interest, that equates to 3,777% per year. You can see this graph here depicting compound interest versus just your 1% every single day. So interest is paid in Uniqo tokens. The investor does not need to take any action. The interest will be distributed automatically and directly into his or her wallet. So you don't need to do anything. You just collect tokens in your wallet. So it's very easy for new investors to get involved in this. You simply buy the tokens and every day you get more of them. So remember, this is part of that elastic supply. So it's going to incur a certain amount of inflation, and then there's going to be a deflationary event triggered by the rebound. When that happens, it's going to bring it back down. If we click on auto compounding, it gives you a nice little graphic here of simple interest versus auto compounding. And you can see the power of how that plays out over a year's time. You can see rewards are distributed every 30 minutes, and it automatically collects those rewards and reinvests them for you. Now, let's talk about some more innovation that they're bringing. The DTP ratio is the daily take profit ratio. The DTP ratio is their effort to create a fair system where people can still take profit every single day, but people who become whales in the project can't just dump all of their token allocation in one day. So there'll be a certain percentage that you can sell every single day. So you can see on this graph, your daily take profit is going to range between 0.1% and 1% of your current holdings. So the more holdings that you have, the less your daily take profit is going to be. But remember, the bigger your holdings are, 0.5 or 0.4% of them is going to be quite large on a daily basis. But what this is going to do, it's going to make the project much more sustainable. It's going to have a lot more longevity, and people are still going to be able to make money every single day if they want to. They just won't be able to dump their entire portfolio on the market at one time and tank the price. When something is based on math, it feels much more alive to me. It's delivering real results based on what's happening in the project versus an arbitrary number that has been picked by the dev team saying you can have 2% or 1%, but it allows it to flex and flow as the project flexes and flows. To me, I like that. So we've already talked about some pretty big innovation with the self-aware smart contract, the DTP ratio, and the rebound. Next, they have something called never-ending liquidity. Now, what you need to keep in mind about liquidity is that it's basically worth its weight in gold. The deeper or higher the liquidity is for the project, the less price impact it will have when people buy and sell their tokens. This means more price stability for your portfolio, and it also means as liquidity keeps being added every single day, the floor of the token price is gradually going to go up over time, causing a forced price appreciation. So how are they actually filling this never-ending liquidity? Well, if you look at the tax system, this is how they're doing it. There's a 12% buy tax and a 15% sell tax. So out of every buy and sell tax, 50% of each of them is going straight into the liquidity. This means, for example, that of every buy that happens, 12% tax is charged, and 6% of that tax goes directly to increasing liquidity. 30% of the tax is going to go to the Treasury, and 20% is actually going to go to a burn address, causing deflation in the token. So they're putting a really big emphasis. 50% is quite a big allocation that's going to adding liquidity on every single transaction. Next, they have what they call progressive deflation. The Uniqo protocol constantly burns and sends Uniqo tokens to the burn address with every transaction. So that's that 20% that we just talked about. And this is important. These burnt tokens will no longer be recoverable. They will be eliminated forever from the circulating supply, generating progressive deflation. The other part of that tax is the 30% that's going to the Treasury, and that's where the protocol revenue comes into play. Now, after speaking with the team, this is not ironed out and ironclad yet where they're going to be investing the Treasury, but the Treasury is going to collect 30% of all taxes that happen both on buys and sells. This Treasury is going to be invested in very low risk, very safe investments that are going to bring yield back into the protocol. They're going to take these revenues earned by the Treasury investments and they're going to use them for buyback and burns. So this is another deflationary mechanism they have in the protocol. And trust me, when I talked to them, I told them that buybacks really don't accomplish what people think they're going to accomplish because it just provides exit liquidity. As soon as they do a big buyback and the token price spikes, everybody sells, and it's as if the buyback never happened. But he reminded me, number one, that the deep TP ratio that we already talked about, they can't sell a big portion of their bag every single day. They can only sell between 0.1 and 0.1%. So even if they do a buyback and the price goes up, they can't really sell their whole bag and take advantage of that and use it as exit liquidity. He also mentioned they're going to implement it in a very smart way, where they're going to implement the buybacks a little bit over time, where there won't just be one big event where the price spikes and everybody sells. So again, this is more innovation in the space that I haven't seen. I was told there'll be much more clarity as we get closer to launch on exactly what these investments are going to look like and what they're going to be. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, there's going to be a pre-sale. This pre-sale is going to have a hard cap of $1 million. There's only going to be 1,000 spots available, and there's going to be a $1,000 max buy per wallet. Now, I want to point this out. 100% of the funds raised during the pre-sale phase will be injected into the liquidity pool at launch. So they're not taking some to pay marketing. They're not taking some to pay the team. 100% of the funds raised during the pre-sale will be injected into the liquidity at launch. Now, also, I thought this was very interesting. After talking to the team, I realized they really are more interested in longevity. They do not want the traditional big green candle and big red candle, which really isn't going to happen anyway with the daily take profit ratio. But even still, they didn't want to have a different price at presale than they have at launch. You can see that's the exact same price at presale than it is launch. The only difference is you're guaranteed this presale price of 0.001, whereas on the launch price, you're absolutely not guaranteed that price. It could be way higher and most likely will be. The other unique thing that they're doing is they're offering tax-free. Remember, there's a 12% tax on buys, but this presale is tax-free. So you're going to get the guaranteed price of 0.001, and you're going to be able to buy it without a 12% tax. So I think that's a big advantage for presale and doing it in a fair way. When I asked them for a presale date, they're looking for early November for the presale. But if you join their Discord and they're actually working on a Telegram channel right now, you can stay in the loop leading up to the presale. So I also wanted to point out that the protocol was designed to be compatible with hardware wallets. So you will be able to use your Ledger or Trezor with your Uniqo tokens. They do have an audit here from Solid Proof, which you guys can check that out and read through this also as well. The Uniqo team consists of 4 core team members right now. They are not doxed and they are currently not KYC'd. He did tell me that they may KYC in the future, but as of right now, they're not KYC'd. But you guys take that information and determine for yourselves if you think that's a red flag or not. To me, depending on who does the KYC, they could be useless or they could be something substantial. The best way to learn more about Uniqo would be to join their Discord and ask all of your questions. They're also running a contest where you can win up to $3,777, which is a play off the APY that they're offering through Uniqo, which is 3,777%. I think one of their core obstacles they're going to have to overcome is how do you take these complex concepts like the self-aware smart contract, the DTP ratio, the rebound, and all this stuff, and make it very easy for people to understand, because the problems that they're solving are actually really cool and needed in the DeFi space. If they could just come up with ways to get that across in a simple way for people, I think this could really take off. My question for you guys is, what's your favorite innovation that Uniqo is bringing to the table? Go ahead and put that down in the comments below. I also wanted to mention that I have a free Telegram group called the 0 to 100K Project. I'm challenging myself to go from $0 to $100,000 a month in passive income, and I'm inviting each and every one of you to come on that journey with me. So go ahead and join my Telegram group, subscribe to my channel, like this video. You guys are amazing, and I'll see you in the next video.